anxious. It's
like
not
excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of The Least Favorite. I'm your girl Natalie.
I'm Tony.
And today we have a guest with us. We have Curtis from Nothin to Somethin Brand.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. So we met in the pop-up shop that we had in, when the fuck was it? In July? July 23rd. How did you enjoy your time at the pop-up shop?
Yes.
It wasn't your first one, obviously.
Right.
Honestly, it was amazing time. Amazing people. Obviously, you guys was amazing. DJ Loose Cannon was good, and we just had a ball.
Yeah.
We just had a ball.
I'm happy that you're coming back.
Yes.
That you decided to continue working
Anytime
with
we have
us.
a pop-up stop, N2S will be there.
Yes, and we're wearing his
Shout
merch.
out, yes. If you haven't noticed, don't take
I didn't
clicks
even tell
later.
them to wear that. I didn't even tell them to wear that.
Nah, I was like, it's only right. If you're coming on, why not wear your merchandise? Like,
And shout out to all the vendors that come back. We love y'all.
yeah, for real.
We
Thank
really
you guys.
do.
Thank you for supporting us this summer. It's been a long summer.
It's been crazy.
It's been a busy summer. That's why we had to take some time off to just focus on the pop because it's a lot of work. And but it's been a good summer. I feel like we
got a lot of shit done.
got a lot done, and I feel like we're all kind of going through something like personally, spiritually, financially. The amount of money I spent this summer.
Talk about it.
I was wilding this summer. I already said after this weekend, that's it. Like I'm in the crib. I'm not doing.
I feel like
a
we
thing.
say that every weekend.
No, I mean
No.
I really mean it.
Nah, but Natalie, she's gonna do it because once it get cold,
Once it gets cold, and also because I work in a
Not
school,
about
so
it.
I gotta be up 6 a.m. every day.
Natalie don't like the cold. She
I
don't be
can't.
with it.
I can't. It's giving a lot of at-home activities.
6
Put it
a.m.?
closer.
6 a.m., yeah. All right, so Curtis, we do a topic from the bowl.
Yes.
You are our guest, so you get to pick the topic.
Uh-oh.
Mhm.
I got to choose from the bottom.
Yeah, maybe the
I mixed it
bottom.
though. I mixed it. It should be good.
All right, I got this one right here.
It's my chicken scratch. So if you need translation, let me know.
Name me some glasses for this.
Oh,
See?
shit. For real?
Nah. What fictional place or world would you visit?
I wrote that. Go,
Wait.
Tony.
That's a good one,
That
but I have no
reminds me,
idea.
I saw this today on my way home from work. I saw this old white dude wearing a Hillman College shirt. So if you know what Hillman College is,
You know
it's a
what Hillman
fake,
College is?
historically black college from a different world in the Cosby Show. And he had no idea what the fuck shirt he was wearing. It was
That's
the funniest
not
thing.
weird.
So Hillman College from a different world.
A word?
This
You would
old
want to
white dude was
visit
wearing
that?
shit.
That's
No,
kind of
It just
lit.
made me think about it. 'Cause
Yeah,
okay.
I feel you.
Fictional place?
You know your answer?
I think
No.
where Fat Albert and them was.
Where were they?
Like in the junkyard and stuff like that.
Like in the cartoon.
What was it?
It was like in
the-
Brooklyn, right?
Okay.
I'll probably be on the cartoon with them.
Don't call me. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know.
I
Fictional
haven't watched
place?
Fat Albert in.
Damn. That's a good fucking question.
Fictional place.
You know, I always be down for the superheroes, but let's be real. In these superhero worlds, it's always the end of the world. I don't want to be in those worlds.
No, I was thinking
There's
something
always
Disney
chaos.
related.
Oh, good.
Like I was thinking either like
Ooh.
where Jasmine and Aladdin were, because that's my favorite Disney movie.
Aw.
But I don't know where they were. What is that? Arabia
Wow,
or
there's a
something?
lot of Disney movies that I
Arabia?
like.
I don't know
You
where
gotta
they
deal
were.
with you gotta deal with Jafar and all of them.
Now they
Yeah,
have
but
this
The
disclosure
carpet was
when you
dope.
watch Aladdin on Disney Plus. Like these characters did not by any means like cause like racial.
Oh,
'cause it was
really?
all like very racial intended. Like they
It-
was making generalizations about those people. Like it's
Yeah.
so funny watching all this.
Just the
Disney
fact we're
movies.
gonna get into that. Just the fact that they gotta put a disclaimer on that. Like we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about that. Okay, so that's a good one. Anything else for that?
I don't know my answer.
Oh, you still haven't decided?
Nah.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know. Some Disney
If I think about it
thing-
later, I'll say it. It's just hard.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, fine.
Next.
Next.
That was a good question though.
All right.
This song, it brings it back.
Song in the background.
It's the song.
This
All
song
right.
is giving us. We can talk about
We
it.
can talk about it.
We can talk about
So
it. All
this
right, guys.
song, we were on a boat this past weekend and we got lit. Lit is an understatement. I don't know what we got, but it became karaoke at the end of the night. And this song, we were singing it like
Mina and Amy were just
we
like.
were always end of the night song. Like it's just the perfect song to
Shout
like.
out to Natalie for DJing like the
Oh, you was
whole
DJing?
boat ride. Let me tell you, off the dome. She made a playlist.
I made a playlist.
But then after a while, she was just like,
after a while, you gotta deviate. Like you gotta get everybody's vibe,
Absolutely.
and you gotta just kind of feel it out. It was an amazing
pick
night.
the genres. Like, am I gonna
Listen.
go Caribbean,
Right,
reggae,
a little bit of
At some
everything.
point, everybody was singing a song at some point, like really breaking it down, singing a song. Even all the
Rapping.
guys rapping,
Going in.
everybody.
I'm really proud of myself for that. I really
We are
am.
too.
Okay.
But anyway, we bring that up because
DJ Nat.
One more time for me, all right? Stay tuned. All right. So we brought this up because we were on the boat and it was most of so we've kind of all have met each other through like, well, not me and you, but the other two through guys, no?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
So
yeah.
this was your topic. Would you mind introducing it?
No problem.
Okay.
So, but how did it come up though? What
was
we were
like,
talking about?
How many?
Oh, I got it. So when we was on the boat ride, like right before we got on the boat, it just popped up because one of the girls that we really close to now, Amy, I met her through an ex.
Oh.
But me and that guy don't, talk. And she don't really talk to him like that, but we remain friends. And guess what? The other girl I invited is the same story.
Met her
It
through
was
an
an ex, but we remained best friends. Me and
I
her.
also met Amy through an ex. So it's like
So the topic pretty much came up because we were like, what has been your experience with either like as a woman, going out with a guy and remaining friends with that guy's friend, or opposite? Like, have you ever met somebody, is that against bro code? Like if you meet somebody
and you just happen to be friends and then you and that person are no longer together, but you still remain friends with the other person. Like,
because I'm sure that happens with guys too.
I feel like it's more common with girls. I feel like guys don't be doing that.
There's some
yeah,
juice.
y'all know something.
There's some tea here.
We started laughing immediately.
It's just funny because when you said that, like how y'all meeting through like the girls dating the guys, like I feel like it's always like that. I feel like where do girls go to like meet another girl to call them their friends? Like I feel like as two guys, like let's say we bros or whatever. If I got a girl, he got a girl, they end up being friends just because we all hanging out.
Right.
But like, how do y'all like go
how
to
do we
meet a girl?
each other?
Yeah, go meet another girl.
I feel like the guys just had them as girlfriends already. So it was like, okay, I have this new girlfriend. Let's say Tony. Like I'm a guy. I'm dating Tony, but I have another girl best friend. It's like, all right, let me just bring these two women together because when we go out, my girlfriend has a friend, she has a buddy, and whatever. Yeah, like it just happens that way. Is that weird though? Y'all don't be.
How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah, or how do y'all feel about it? Like,
I feel like it all depends because I feel like it's going to be more so for like the girl that you bring in, right? She might try to like she might not like really rock with your girl best friend,
right?
Because they'd be like, is that really your best friend?
But you know what? I think that's why the guys bring us together because they don't want us to have that awkwardness.
That,
It's like I'd rather you at least see the dynamic between us, and now you can be friends with her. So now when I want to show with her, you don't feel no type of way.
But then here's the thing though. Here's the switch right here. Let's say I go out one-on-one, I hang out with the best friend. How does the girl feel about it? Like, oh, why are you always spending time with her? You're not really spending time with me.
I think it's tricky for me and Tony to answer that because we both have guy friends too. So like, it's like, I gotta respect your relationship with the opposite sex the same way I want you to respect my relationship with the opposite sex. So I can't be acting like, I can't be a hypocrite about it.
So the guy, one of the guys that I mentioned, right? He had like a whole crew of guy friends, like OD. Right. So it would happen like that. Maybe he was working and then they was like, yo, Tony, like bring the bitches, like come through, bring your girlfriends. And I would chill with them, like, and it was fine. But like one-on-one,
you don't like the one-on-one?
I personally, I'm sure they wouldn't feel no type of way. I don't think he felt no type of way because at the end of the day, those were like his brothers, like before high school, during high school brothers, like all through college. I don't think he would feel some type of way.
So you used to chill with them without him? Oh.
It happened.
Hello.
Oh, it happened, but I wouldn't just pull up by myself.
You would bring
I would bring girls.
Yeah, but I think
for
just
them.
the fact that like you went.
It's like, why did my bros hit you up to chill with you?
Yeah, I don't
know. No, he was always invited, but let's say something pops up or if he was a workaholic. Like it would just happen and we made plans. It was never like, oh, I'm not inviting him.
Right.
It was like, oh, we all made plans and then something happens and I'm like, but I want to go.
But he had like a level of trust with them where like he didn't feel no type of way that they were inviting
They weren't in some like No, we was all invited initially.
Right.
But it happened multiple occasions.
Where
That's
he didn't make it.
Right.
He just didn't make it. And I wanted to chill. Like, I got the fit. I bought my, like, come on,
You was
bro.
already mapped out, planned out, everything.
Like, what's up?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn. So then not to make it, like, not awkward, like, his friends would be like, yo, just bring girls. Like, and I would just bring girls. And then we would have a good time. Sometimes he would pop up later, right? After his shift. Sometimes, not all the time, though. We would just chill. But... yeah.
I feel like that's a
did you ever have like that insecure moment? Like, yo, why'd you go hang
Yeah, because I feel like that's a very special circumstance.
So that happened.
But not having multiple times.
That happened on one occasion, right? It's happened on one occasion with one of his guy friends. That he voiced it to me. He's like, yo, but why you talk to him? Like, even through Instagram and shit like that. But honestly, we would talk about girls. Cause I'm like, fake bi, and
she said fake bi, bitch, you're bi.
Whatever.
Fake bi.
And anyway, so we would talk about girls. Like we would be sending each other pics of girls. Like that's what we'd be talking about. We'd be like, oh, I wouldn't be like, oh, hey, what you doing?
It's giving threesome at that point.
Did you get
threesome?
Word.
Sending pictures is crazy.
Of Instagram girls? Wow, this is crazy.
It's giving.
Yeah. I was living pretty good.
Because y'all was sexualizing them girls.
Right.
Together.
You were sexualizing them. That's a good point.
He's trying to set it up to like, when we go out, we're going to run down on this girl.
I stand corrected. See, this is why
he was trying to figure out the type. You see what he was trying to do there? He was trying to figure out the type. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because, all right, hearing that, right? Hearing what she said, like, how do you feel
this is
if
not
your
current,
girl,
by
you
the
have
way,
a lot of guy friends.
old.
Yeah.
So now your guy friends invite your girlfriend out and they tell her to bring her friends and you're not. You were invited to, but you can't go. Is it cool if she still goes?
For sure. I mean, I trust my brothers.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He was on that type of time.
Okay.
Like,
so
we just not gonna do it consecutive though.
Yeah,
we're not gonna do it consecutive.
Yes, go ahead.
Like us, like our circle, we have a bro code. You know what I'm saying? So say told me CJ girl. For the people who don't know, we call him CJ.
Yeah.
But
say
told me girl, right? We know, all right, she's off limits. Like we already know that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's where the comfortability comes in.
Hey, Buddy know that.
We know, like, we know that.
Yeah.
Now, if it's, say, it's you, for example, you're not his girl.
Right.
It's fair game.
Right.
You know
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, like,
that makes sense.
That's where the comfortability comes.
So basically, to answer this, you've never been in that situation where you're friends with any people that your ex brought you around or anything like that. So then this brought me. I started thinking about this a little. Yeah, I'm friends with Amy. I'm friends with. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's weird because I'm also the type of person that like.
But I feel like you got to define like the friendship afterwards. Like if it's gonna be a high and by, like can we have a conversation? Then yeah, I could do that.
Oh, and let me say, after I don't see none of them anymore. After we broke up,
yeah,
you don't see none of them.
Like purposely, or y'all just don't cross paths?
No, we don't. No, we don't see each other. We don't plan shit. We don't chill. We
It's
don't
done.
like.
Yeah, nah, you can't do that.
If
Nah,
we cross
not
paths,
that
like,
part.
oh, hey, what's good?
Right.
Like it's not like that. So you know what I'm saying? It was never. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, this made me think of something like a little bit further. If you're in a relationship with someone and they die, mad fucking mad dry. I know. But wait, would you still be involved with like the family and everything? Yeah, I don't have kids or nothing, but like you were really close to the parents, the cousins, the siblings, whatever. Would you still come around?
You're mourning together.
1000%.
Yeah.
We all affected together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We share probably
You're
so
mourning
many
together.
memories together. And
I don't know
stuff.
how long that will last.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's the
How long
thing.
can you really? Because now if you move on,
right? If you
No,
trying
right.
to move on,
I
you know
think
what I'm saying?
most families, like if you had a good relationship with their lost one and the family really loved you, they'll be happy to see you.
Oh
like,
yeah,
moving on.
And they kinda, a lot of families, they be wanting you to move on too. They be like pushing for it. Like,
Yeah.
For sure, that could be your extended family now.
Have you ever broken up with someone and the family still wants you around? They still reach out to you. They still contact you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
How does that feel?
But I had to put up
Never.
barriers. Oh,
With the
you know what?
We're not
gonna go there.
We're not gonna go there.
But yeah, but you know what? It got awkward, and the person even told me like, I really don't want you doing this. And for the respect out of
the
him,
family told you that?
no,
The
no,
family
the guy,
wanted her.
the family wanted me.
Okay.
Yeah, the family wanted me. Like they was texting me, calling me, like popping up. like at my job, like different stuff, like, oh, hey, how you doing? Especially when I got pregnant. Like, this is a different, now I'm like completely moved on. Yeah, you still checking on me. But no, but I just had to form that barrier because, I mean, not at that time. I was talking about before, but even before that, he was like, nah, I really don't feel comfortable. I was like, no problem. So when they would try to pop up, I would tell them like, I'm sorry, he feels weird, and I don't want to put him in a weird position. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they tried to pop up when I was pregnant. It didn't work out.
Yeah, like for me, you remember, like my first like serious relationship, when we broke up, he was stalking me.
Oh.
Really bad.
Like OD. Like, yo, I'm not even going to get into
stalking
it.
Stalking her, and then also like
my friends. Did you do a restrainer?
Well, I wanted to, but my family was like, "Oh, don't do that." He's just like heartbroken, and it's like, no, but this is psychotic at this point. Like it was getting crazy.
Like it extended to us, so it was weird. Like popping up on us, like and asking about her.
His mom wanted like that relationship with me still, but I think just out of like, and I didn't mind, but it was like, your son is stalking me. So if I talk to you even a little bit, he's gonna think there's a chance. Like I can't be affiliated with you at all. Yeah, and so that was unfortunate. But other than that.
I mean, I had a father tell me, he was like, as long as you don't disrespect or harm my daughter, we'll always be good. So I feel like my energy and my vibe, like families, they like me. So I feel like that relationship don't change. You know, as long as you don't disrespect, you know, your partner, their child, you know.
Yeah.
So you'll be good.
Good one.
That was great. All right.
We haven't heard these songs in a while.
Bitch, so. This next topic is heavy. Okay. It's about Neo. And we're going to be here for a while. Let me put the hookah down.
You can pass it. Show what you want here.
All right. So I'm going to play. Right. That's exactly what that is. So basically, Neo did an interview with Gloria Velez on Black TV. And he was talking about when you have children. You know, now we're in a climate where people get to identify as whatever they want. You could be a woman and identify as a man, vice versa. You could be a tree, you could be a fish, you could be whatever the fuck
dog, cat,
you want to be. And so basically he came out and said, and we'll insert the clip, but I'll just summarize it here. Do you really think it's right for your 5-year-old son to just come to you and say that he wants to be a girl? He's like, I don't think that a child can make that decision. Now, if he gets older, mentally mature, and he wants to make that decision for himself, that's fine. I'm not going to love him any less. But as a child, he just feels like parents, they don't know how to parent anymore. Now it's like too free. It's like your little child says they want to identify as something else, and you're quick to be like, okay, I support it. And now we're giving them medication to change their hormones, change their bodies. And it's just like, they're not mature enough to know what's even going on. And you as the parent, you have the ability to make the appropriate decision, and you're not doing it. So he got a lot of backlash on that. I just want to first talk about, like, what are your thoughts on that comment, those comments that he made? If anybody wants to go first.
I think you just kind of stepping out and making that comment out loud. It goes a long way, you know.
It's hard to at this.
It's a very, a very sensitive, interesting topic, especially in today's world where, there's so much going on. Our times is definitely changing, and, we have to become more like accepting of everything. For me personally, my older brother, he's gay. We grew up together. Everything was always good. We never had no type of conflict or anything. I just say for me personally, right? I say for the children that I bring into this world, and like I have a daughter now, I would want her to, get older, get married to a guy, have kids. But when I don't think I'm comfortable with having that conversation with her at 7 or 8 or 5, because I feel like there's probably more things for me to learn, and there's definitely a lot for her to learn. But I'll say, like, when she gets older and a little bit more consciously aware of her surroundings, her environment, if that's a route that she truly wants to go, I'm going to accept her nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? She's always going to be my daughter. Right. So I just say, let's just try to have those conversations when we're a little bit older, with a little bit more aware, a little bit more like education around it, a little more knowledge behind it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's all he was really trying to say, but we are in such a sensitive time.
Absolutely.
Where everything is like, oh no, homophobic, he's against trans rights, and it's like, he said to do whatever you want to do.
Right.
But with my family and how I think I want to do things with my children, this is how I think it's, how we should do it. Right. Now, Tony actually has kids, so I wanted your take on this. Because you're also a nurse, and you've been seeing a lot of this happen too in the hospital.
Yeah, so what's happening in the hospital, because remember I told you, is now we have parents who are requesting that you do not refer to their newborn as he or she. Yes. They don't want you to use any of those pronouns except they, them. Until that's their belief. They don't want you to identify them as he or she until they, their belief is until they become of age and they decide what they are. Or when they get a little older and they start to identify. So that's what's going on in the climate in the hospital right now.
Was there ever a time probably not, you wouldn't know, but maybe like if that child got older and then want to go a different path, like how does that go back with the parents?
What do you mean?
Like you see how they want to be identified as them and they. Like when
as
they get
newborns.
Right. When they get older and they don't want to be identified as that, like what do you know? Do you have heard about anything about their relationship with them and the parents afterwards?
No, because me personally, I don't work with kids or children. I'm an adult nurse, so I don't experience that. The only thing I've experienced with right now is like transgenders in the hospital and how we treat them. Like there's a whole different like care plan, like how they get roomed and etc. Like, and it's constantly changing. Like that's what I have experienced.
Oh wow!
Not necessarily with kids, but that's just something that was taught to us as a new policy. Right? Because they have to keep educating us as climate changes in the hospital. Like, so just as a nurse in general, they just give us education on this is what's happening now in the hospital. You are not to refer to a child as he or she unless the parent says so.
How do they name them when they're born?
Yeah, are they naming them?
No, my name is Tony. You can have
No, that's what I'm saying though, but you're saying that they not identifying them as.
Yo, are they naming their children then?
Yeah, I'm sure they name their children, but it's just
the pronouns.
It's just the pronouns. They're not saying he or she, because they can pick gender neutral names.
Right.
I don't know if they're going all that route.
Okay.
I mean, I would imagine. So if you're going hard to be like, refer to my newborn as they, them, I'm assuming you're probably going to pick a gender neutral name. It would make sense
it would make
do
sense.
that, but like, I don't know. They're actually also, because he also referenced the bill that they passed in California that said that parents have to kind of support the identity of the children. So whatever the child says that they want to identify as, the parent has to do that, especially like if there's a custody battle. Like if the parent doesn't support their child's identity, then like they won't get visitation rights. They could probably get fined or locked up. So it's like a thing. It's becoming a thing.
I just wonder, and we probably don't have this answer, like at what age does that start? You know what I'm saying? Because piggybacking off what you said, I feel like my child, even today, and not to get all nitty gritty, but I was using the bathroom, right? No, was it today? No, it was another day. I was using the bathroom. I have my friend. So then my son is in the bathroom and is like, Mommy, like, if your child can't understand what's going on reproductively with you and can't identify those things and what it really means, not soulfully what gender means, but physically, what does that mean? What does that look like? And they can't define that for themselves yet. I don't think they should be able to
also
make that choice. You know what I'm saying? Because it really ran through my head. I'm like, wow, my son really, I mean, obviously he's 4. He don't know. But he was asking me questions and it did roll in my head like, wow, he really don't know about these things. He's going to have to learn about these things and I'm going to have to teach him about these things. But he's not there yet. Like he don't have
like all
the
this
capacity.
social media and all this platforms. It's like, I feel like they're learning quicker than us because they have the accessibility to get to it. So we might learn something at 18 that they learning at 10.
Because
they think they're learning at 10.
That's a perfect.
Because they all got phones. A lot of these kids got phones now.
TikTok is great because I've learned so much on TikTok, but it's also giving kids so much exposure to things that we did not have exposure to. And they want to just join this trend. Like my hairdresser, her daughter's 14, and she came out and said she wanted to be a man. And my hairdresser was like, no, I'm not putting you on medication. I'm not giving you those hormones to change your body. You're only 14 years old. You don't know that that's what you really want to do. You're changing your style every week. Every week, one week you want to be gothic. Another week you want to be like a tomboy. Like you don't even know what's going on. Come to find out, like a month later, she was like, yeah, I changed my mind. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know what I was thinking. And she's like, imagine if I would have put you on that medication. A lot of people have gone on that medication, and I've seen it on TikTok too. They've come out, they've been on the medication. And then they end up severely depressed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I didn't want to do
It's
this. Their body has already changed.
Yeah, right.
Hormonal, and they kill themselves. Like it's full out stories on this shit. So
But
it's like, give it time.
But to the correct way, like when you want to identify as something, the correct way to go about it before you start meds, and a good doctor will put you through this process, is you are supposed to go to therapy first. You're supposed to go to therapy, go through counseling. It's not like, okay, you go to the doctor and, hey, I want this now. And okay, here. No, it doesn't work that way. You need to see a therapist. You need to see a psychologist to really see why you feeling this way and what's going on and where did it stem from. And then you start to get on the road to going in that direction if, you know,
so it's not like a so spontaneous reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because it's found sometimes that maybe you just identify with masculinity. It's not necessarily like you want to be a man.
Yeah,
maybe you just there's more masculine women out there, and not physically, like not like they want to wear like, you know, guys' clothes. No, they can look like me and Natalie, but they just identify like more with the masculinity, like self. So
yeah.
You know, I 100% agree with Neo. Like,
Yeah, because-
100%. At the end of the day, like, like your child is a child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't allow your child to just do what they want to do. When they turn 18, sure.
Yeah, because really quickly, I want to read, before we have to take a break, Neo's response. So he says, this shit is getting out of hand. From the horse's mouth, I will not be bullied into apologizing for having an opinion. Agreeing to disagree is not a declaration of war. Lord knows I ain't perfect. I've made my mistakes indeed. And I've apologized to the people I've hurt for those mistakes. I couldn't cast a stone if I wanted to, which I don't, and I haven't. My intention is never to offend anybody, but my opinion is mine, and I'm entitled to it. I don't care what y'all do with yours. That's yours. This is how I feel. If one of my 7 kids, I didn't know he has 7 kids, by the way. That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Right. If one of my 7 kids were to decide that he or she wanted to be something other than what they were born as, once they're old enough and mature enough to make that decision, so be it. Not going to love them any less, but this isn't even a discussion until they are mentally mature enough to have the discussion. Period, point blank. Whatever, y'all do you, because I'm going to do me. Let's agree to disagree.
Check.
I think that was great.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. I do not disagree with anything. Yeah, go ahead.
How old?
We need to get him a mic.
No, I think he gave an example. I think he has little kids. I don't know exactly.
Example about 5 to 7 year old.
All right, so 5 to 7. Dwayne Wade's
now. It was 12, right? When she decided that she wanted to do that.
My question is, what age is
so
appropriate to have that type
if we're gonna put a number on it, I would say if you don't want them drinking until 21 or smoking until, what is it, 18? I think around that time. Maybe because it's like, but you can give them medications to change their entire body, but they can't have alcohol or do drugs. So it's like, that's just me.
I wouldn't know what the age is because, you know, guys, no offense to y'all, guys and girls mature differently. And a woman, she may know she's not a woman and she may be 14, 15 years old already.
Mature faster than us.
But what's important is that you open to the conversation. That's the part we're not saying. Be open to the conversation and be respectful with your child and don't just like say, oh no, like at first. Like we saying that, but I personally wouldn't, I personally would not approach it that way. I would say like, listen, we're going to talk about it. We're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to get a therapist involved. We're going to have those conversations. Like, it's not going to be like, oh, you want this, you want it now. I'm saying no right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But
I feel like anytime you come into a decision, do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Do the research, understand everything around it, and then you make a decision. Don't just go based off impulse, and don't just go based off of what you're seeing on television or on your phone.
Yeah.
Do the actual work and really sit down with yourself or sit down, like you said, with a therapist and really talk it over, and then you make that decision. You know?
A little transition. I like that he be into it.
Every time. Look at him start singing on
Are
that.
we gonna have to show them the video though, no? Because they don't know.
What video? Oh yeah, I'm gonna show the video. All right, so there was, you probably saw it on Instagram, not sure, but basically a woman was gambling and she lost her Rolex in the exchange, I guess. And this was her reaction. I'm gonna just play it real quick.
Okay, y'all place your bets. You got
Whoa! Hey, get your people, bro.
Whole titty came out. Like,
I did not see that part.
yeah. So basically, he was just trying to contain her.
So basically, she's trying to press up on him, up on her man, and say, "You gotta go step to that nigga and get my rollie back."
What I do want to mention though that nobody was talking about, and someone mentioned in the comments, and I had to go back. Was she said, "You're the one that lost it, so you better get it back."
That's different.
But shout out to Spiritual World because y'all left that part out in the quotations of this,
right?
And so everybody was quick to
I didn't hear that shit.
I heard it because I went back and
that changes the whole
that changes the whole narrative.
It changes the whole story.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah,
but we're gonna pretend because we're not gonna act like there aren't women who exist like this, who get themselves into compromising situations and then expect their man to bail them out.
Right.
And to that point, I just wanted to read another comment that someone had said that I thought was beautifully written. Part of protecting a woman is telling her no to protect her from herself. So he should have stopped her from gambling in the first place. This is what it looks like when a woman tells you you can't tell her what to do. She only sees you as a man when it's time to fix her mistakes. The same mistakes you tried to prevent in the first place. I'm going to give him some gunshots for that because when I read it,
I was going to say right there, tell her no from the beginning.
What?
But yeah, so apparently he was the one that lost it, whatever. But again, we're going to pretend
we'll stick with the initial narrative. That she's the one that let's pretend that she really was the one that was gambling.
Right. So,
and yeah.
Okay. What is the line between holding someone accountable for their actions and then understanding the emotional impact that they may be experiencing from that? Like, obviously she was upset because she lost the watch.
Right.
And then she reacted the way she reacted. Can we have empathy for her reacting that way or no, because she should have been able to handle those consequences when she decided to gamble her watch to begin with?
You want to go? You want me to go?
She could have had empathy for it, but I feel like once she raised her hand to swing on him.
That was tough.
That's tough. That's very tough.
Oh, man.
And like we were saying, like the narrative says, she put the rollie up in the street gamble.
Right. Which is like, why are you even doing all that? Why are you a woman gambling in the street?
Like how much a rollie cost? Like
thousands.
$10,000.
Yeah, more. Yeah.
You don't put no rollie up in no gamble at all. Because especially when it's on the street, once it's gone, it's gone.
It's over. They're not giving that shit back.
It's gone. And I'm going to tell you a story. I was in DC one time, many years back, went out there for Howard Homecoming. And I came across a similar street gamble. And they work in a team. Okay? Yeah. So when the audience come and they say, yo, do this and do that, and they tap in with you, they all together. Okay? I found out that the hard way. I did the first bet, $10. I won. Did the second bet, $10. I won. Oh, yeah, I'm good. Everybody like, yo, up the bet. You know, gassing me up. I put $100 up. Everybody sizing me up like, yo, pick that one. I picked that one. I lost. $100 gone. When they took my 100, the game is over. Everybody's going. I can't chase the dude down the block and be like, yo, let me get my 100 back. I put it up, I lost it, and that's what it is. So it don't matter what you put up. House, car, Rolex is gone. There's no getting that back. But in the beginning, before she even did that, baby girl, you're not putting no rollie up. We're not doing that at all. If we don't got no more bread, we don't got no more bread.
That's it.
We're not about to put a rollie up, especially if we spent however much on it. We're not about to do that. And then once we having that back and forth and you telling me like, oh, it's my watch, I could do what I want to do.
Do you?
By all means, let me do your thing. But once it's gone, no, we out. We not about to go chase these guys down, this and that, and get it back. Because they're not giving it back to you.
And in what world does it make sense for him to put his neck out against I don't know how many niggas is
more than one?
Does that make any sense?
It's absolutely more than one. I'm telling you right now.
The best hands.
There's more than one. You
could be a professional boxer, and if there's 5, 6, like you gonna get run down.
And you doing it with your lady too. So let's say she jump in right now, they hit her.
Yeah. Not only you putting your neck out, but now she's not gonna be safe neither because y'all both in a real unsafe situation. Like,
absolutely.
Have you guys ever been in a situation like that?
No.
Me personally, I'm a gambler. I gamble. I'm in this situation though. A couple of years ago. We gambling, you know what I'm saying? One dude bet or whatever. Lost. So now, obviously, the person that won the bread, like, yo, pay me. The nigga who lost was like, nah, go get your gun.
Oh.
Straight like that. Go get your gun. I'm not giving you nothing.
Yeah, that's happening.
Yep.
And then we all just sitting there like, oh, okay, so
it's over.
What happens now?
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just situations like that, like you said, you gambling. Not to say dude don't got the money, but like it was on some like I'm gambling. If he would have won, he would have definitely I want my money.
Mm-hmm.
If he lost clearly, and he told Son to go get his gun because he had his on him.
Yeah,
and he's ready to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just situations like that. Like you gotta know, like he said, you gotta know who you gambling with.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So as a man, do you feel the need? Let's take gambling aside, right? Do you always feel the need to protect your girl when your girl's the one who does some stupid shit to begin with?
You always gonna be a protector for sure, no matter what. Like they didn't show no signs where like they put hands on her or anything like that. It just seemed like she was trying to reach for it and they were just pulling away and then going that way.
Right.
You're always gonna be protective of her, but I feel like I said in the beginning, that Rolex would have never got put up, point blank.
But at what
because
point?
that's also us protecting her.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not betting. I mean, if they was, then they was, but. A lot of times they betting $20, $100 because, like I said, it's on the street.
Right.
You're not in the casino. You didn't go to the Mohegan Sun and nothing like that. You're on the street, and
ain't no security.
You don't know who these people are, right?
Ain't no help.
You know what I'm saying? So once you put up that type of money or that type of like watch and stuff, it's a wrap. They taking that.
Yeah,
it's gone.
But where are your boundaries in terms of like women getting you into some shit?
Yeah,
like
if
where
that's
does
something
the
that
line?
happens
Where's the line
consistently,
cross?
then nah, you can't be in a relationship with that person.
Right.
Like if it's constantly happening, that's wild.
Because in a sense, she putting you in danger.
No, she is. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And it's like you're supposed to just bail her out whenever she does some dumb shit, but it's like no.
And the way that video looked like, don't seem like that was the first time that they've ever had that type of conflict. So you might want to go. Might want to go have a conversation with him.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He was way too calm for the situation.
He was
he was just like
he's seen it before.
That's why.
He's seen it before.
He was like, not again.
And he didn't want it. Again, there was more than one person that he was gonna have to fight. He was trying to be as calm as
they
possible.
are in cahoots. They are in cahoots. I had another situation. Man, I came in too many situations with it. I had another situation in Atlanta, and a guy came in, and they was doing the same thing, like playing the audience. And later on, as the course of the event went on, I seen them all together, chilling, hanging out. So I said, "Oh, the money that you won was just all in the pot. I was the one who lost." So yeah, they all together.
Learned that on Fordham Road growing up in the 80s.
Oh God,
yeah. They're going to let you win in the beginning because that gets you more involved into the game. Oh, yeah, I won like 3 in a row. I'm a beast at this. Yeah, let me put a little bit more bread down because I'm good now. Oh, yeah, put that bread down. Yeah, we got him. We got him. Oh, the $100 man. Yeah, we need him. And it's a wrap. And then they going, game's over now. Game's over now. That's it.
Yeah.
That's our song now.
Love and light to them. If they're still together after all that,
I guarantee they are.
They probably are. They like that shit. They probably like that shit.
Close up on Curse every transition song.
What? Nah, because he be vibing. He be vibing.
Yeah,
I want to get a little bit into you now, personal, because you do have your brand, and I want to highlight that.
Yeah, facts.
So we want to talk. I guess to start, where did the idea come from? How long have you been doing it?
Where did the idea come from?
Yeah.
So we've been saying nothing to something since we was in high school. Like me and this guy. It's always been our motto. Like when we used to go outside, we never had like no type of expectations for anything. We were just maximizing our time, adjusting to any type of environment, just having fun. We never was like coming home with regrets. It was just like, yo, we going to this place, but we don't really know how's it going to be. Probably not gonna be too many girls there. I don't know if they got drinks, but it's like it didn't matter.
Right.
But we're gonna turn nothing to something. So that's always been our line every time.
I like that. That's cute.
So that's how we used to just
like
enjoy ourselves. And I mean, I wish we would have marketed it when we was in high school, but it was
still can. What's up?
We ain't not in high school no more.
Well, no, I'm saying you still want to market it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're marketing now. So we had we wanted to like open up like a bar and grill. And we wanted to call it Nothin to Somethin Bar and Grill. I actually got the plaque downstairs in my office. I have a bar in my office, so the plaque is actually called Nothin to Somethin Bar and Grill. So that's like one of our long-term things coming soon.
We in there. The minute it
absolutely.
opens, we
Absolutely.
in there.
Oh, let us know.
So we was a part of a prior brand, and things went another route, which I'm honestly grateful for because it was able to open up this route. Because we were so passionate about it. So I was just like, playing with different fonts, and I was telling the bros, I'm like, yo, we really gonna take off. We're really gonna take off. We're really gonna take off. So I started thinking about like rocket ships and stuff like that. So I'm going through the fonts, and I found like the NASA font, and I was like, perfect. Like this is exactly the route we're trying to go. And we started calling each other astronauts because we kept saying like, yo, we're gonna take off. And we kept saying this favorite quote we used to always say, Earth is a mess, so we out of here. That was like our biggest thing we used to always say all the time. So it was like, all right, yeah, we got the NASA font. Like we call each other astronauts. Like, so now how do we like market and give names to like our clothing? Because since we're saying like Earth is a mess and we out of here, that means we're bringing a different perspective to clothing. So we started putting stuff on different sides and naming stuff. So when we did the tracksuits, we called them spacesuits. And when we did the girl suits, we called them gravity suits. And then the shirts, we called them rocket shirts, sweatpants, jet lag pants. So we've just been kind of just taking off ever since there. And I'm always like, they could tell you I'm moving. Like I'm always networking. I'm always on the go. Like I don't stop. Like my work ethic is crazy. So, I mean, right now, like I said, we've only been out for 5 months. Everybody been thinking like we've been out for so many years. And I'm like, nah, it's just our work ethic is just different.
Yeah, because I would think you guys were kind of solidified in this for years. The way, like even the way you showed up to the pop-up shop and you had your team with you, the merch looks amazing. It's good quality.
Like I was having a conversation with like millionaires and they was like, yo, you definitely been doing this for like a couple years. And I said, nah, 5 months.
It's crazy.
It was like, what? And like, oh, I wasn't doing this in 5 months. And I'm, hey, listen.
You sent me your other page. Say the name of the page again so people can follow
Free
it.
Your Mind.
Free Your Mind. It's so good. He like rants, but it's awesome. I love that. You had a video where you were talking about how important it is to have like leaders around you. Can you like, I guess, talk about that a little bit more and then how important it is in terms of what you're trying to do and build?
So I tell the bros all the time, like, they're not employees. We're all leaders. We're all partners. And you have to tell your team that, right? You have to inspire your team to be that way because let's say, God forbid, I'm not present. The mission remains the same. So they can't be employees because if they're under you, then how can they take over? So if we're all leaders, that means no matter who's at the forefront, we're always going to be good. Like no matter what. So you have to build like that foundation, build that partnership and like give them that inspiration to know like, listen, you guys are going to be good without me. That's why like a lot of times I'll send a certain task to them. Listen, you're going to hold down this. Like we bought a basketball team in White Plains, Ferris World Ball. That was his project. He was the leader of that. So we was all going to him for that. I have another person running the page, like with all the social media and stuff. He's the leader for that. Then I have our designer. He's the leader of that. Like you have to put your people in places to win.
Yeah.
And because no matter what, like I said, if I can't do it, they have to have the tools to be able to do it because the mission remains the same. We have to take off. We can't have no gaps because the world is not going to wait for you.
Right.
We got to go get the world right now while we hot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just...
How much does this resonate?
I'm going to go in right now. It's a therapy session now.
And hold on. Free stands for fulfilling realistic, effective expectations.
Nice.
Listen, we were just having the same conversation with each other the other day. And I know she had the conversation with N2, like verbatim.
We had a mini conversation again today.
What is your role? What are you bringing to the table? What do you want to bring to the table? Where do you see yourself? Like, everyone got to step up.
You know what it is?
Goal time.
It's like, and this is probably, it's my fault too, because I've always been the type of person that like, I'll take on the leadership role and then I'm afraid to give up control because it's like, I don't want shit to get fucked up.
Right.
Yeah. So are you going to say something?
The what? Send them a video talking about team leadership and stuff.
Yeah, you can send that because it's just like hard to give up control, but then it's like I need the help. Like now, if we're trying to grow to a different level, I can't be the only one doing shit. Yeah. It's 1000%. Fucking exhausting. Yeah. And there's days like I'm already have my hands like with the pop up. That's a lot. Like I'm talking to over 20 vendors all the time. They're hitting me up for shit. I had to make all the flyers. It's a lot of fucking work. That's why I had to take a break from this. But it's like, if I can't be somewhere, if I can't be at a certain event and you're able to go and represent for us. Because I can't do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
I want a day off too.
Absolutely.
It's a lot.
And I say like the best way to learn is observational and the best experience is practical. So like a lot of times when I'm doing certain things, I'm going to bring them with me. So like, for example, I want him to come with me because let's say there's a podcast that somebody wants to talk to N2S. He needs to be able to see what's going on because I need him in this chair.
Right.
Because we can't have delays because like I said, they're not waiting for us. So we have to get them while we got them now. Yeah. So I say like, whenever you're trying to do anything and stuff like that, like with the control and stuff like that, keep them next to you.
Yeah.
Because they watch.
No, lately I'm like, when I get to a point where it's like too much, I'm like, wait a minute, but why am I overwhelmed? I have two other people that I can hit up. Why am I overwhelmed?
You have
if we in this together, I should not be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I've been leaning on her more. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can
hold
trust
them accountable.
her. And holding them accountable
Absolutely.
too. Because it's like, if we say we want to do this, I know like for her, she loves being a nurse. So I'm not going to take that away from her.
Right.
I don't want to continue my 9 to 5. And I have 2 jobs. So I would like to quit both of them.
For sure.
He wants to quit his full-time job.
So do
But we can't keep saying that we want to quit our jobs, but we're doing bare minimum shit. Or we're like, oh yeah, I want to do this, but I don't have time. Oh, I want to do this, but make the fucking time. I don't want to hear it no more. Like this year, I don't want to fucking hear shit. We just gotta fucking do it.
You want to be a millionaire, you gotta make $1 million moves.
Yeah, it's like what you mean you don't have time, but I have time. I have time to go out and smoke hookah.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I'm holding myself accountable to that too.
About no excuses. Like I tell the team all the time, and I tell them to hold me accountable too. If I say that I'm doing this, and y'all see that it didn't get done, just because y'all see me as CEO, that's what they call me in the chat, CEO. Y'all can still hold me accountable because I'm going to hold you accountable. Like I've been flying out. I had like vacations, like back-to-back vacations, and I was text them and make sure like we still had goals that need to be met. And if they didn't meet them, it's a no excuses.
You just didn't.
Like, why didn't
there's no
do
excuse. Like excuses to me are bullshit because it's like you make time for what you want to make time for.
Right.
Absolutely.
There are mothers who have 3 kids. They still wake up at 5 a.m. They still go to the gym. They still raise their kids. They still do what they got to do. You just didn't fucking take the time to do it. You didn't prioritize.
1,000.
So it's like, I guess for you now, how do you hold people accountable without being an asshole? Because I worry that I'm coming on too strong and I'm being a bitch.
Let me answer it. I'm assertive and blunt. Like I'm direct. I don't really know any other way around it. I've been that way with them for so long. And like, you know, we done had conflicts as brothers, but I stand on what I stand on. Because I know that, and I tell them, I'm going to get y'all there. Point blank. We're going to make it. All you gotta do is believe. And I'm going to show you all the proof because I can back up what I'm saying to you. Because time and time again, I'm showing you, yo, we did this. Yo, we did that. Yo, we did this. Like, we're going down to Atlanta. We're going to Invest Fest, hosted by Earn Your Leisure, August 25th to the 27th. The team, I was like, yo, we looking for Airbnbs. I seen the team in the chat. They was all looking for Airbnbs, trying to get the money together. I sent a message. I said, Airbnb is done. Put your money back in your pocket. That's how I move. So they believe in me. He called me Brady. Like, he was like, yo, to go. He's like, yo, we got your back. All you're going to do is finish it. So I lead by example. And so that they know, like, when I say what I say, I mean it. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, the mission still remains the same. And you either going to get on board for it or you're not.
I'm also super impatient too. Like, if I tell you Monday, I want this, I'm expecting it Tuesday. Yeah. So Tuesday, where the fuck is it? Why isn't it done?
Yeah.
Do I need to chill?
No. Okay, so
your mind has changed on Sunday though.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, what I was gonna say is that going back to what you said about
It just said Will Smith's.
Yeah, you can put it on the mic.
It's like, who is at your right hand? Like, who your friends are, who you're with every day, will make or break your dreams.
Very true.
You cannot build a
empire,
career
nothing.
And you probably, I'm going to speak specifically from my experience, but you probably can't do much of anything in this life at a high level without a rock solid team. It's a team sport. And there's a couple of really critical things. It's like, who is at your right hand? Like, who your friends are, who you're with every day, will make or break your dreams. You cannot build.
I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, it goes going over.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna touch on two things. One, I'm gonna go back to what you said about when you asked him, how do you handle being assertive, being respectful? Thankfully, since you have a long-term relationship, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off of our experience, I know that she don't mean to be too like attitudey or whatever you want to say it. Right. She's just saying what she wants to get done.
She's passionate.
It's passion. Yeah. So I feel like even though she still be holding back, like, and trying her best to be respectful, I feel like even if she wasn't, quote unquote, wasn't, I still wouldn't take it that way. Because I know why she's saying it. And if she does have to get to that level, then maybe I didn't do something. I'm asking for it. You understand? Right. Absolutely. So I feel like you probably have that same experience, that they've known you for so long. They really know your core. And even when you are being, you know, a little extra, they don't take it to, there's no sensitivity. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like have I been ever sensitive?
No, I just be worried about it. But I think me and you are fine. Yeah. Sometimes it's me and him that be going like,
we'd be good.
Yeah.
Like
a lot of times they'll say like, I'm a Cancer. Like my birthday is
me too.
Cancer and Leos, y'all need to wrap it up.
It's just disgusting.
So a lot of times, like when I do put that energy in the chat, they be like, "Oh, here you go being a Cancer," but they know that
and
I'm still standing on it.
Get it done. I don't give a fuck.
I'm still standing on it because they already know, and nobody doing more than me. So how you gonna give me an excuse? Because if I gave you an excuse, we're not going nowhere. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to hear that. You want to say, yo, you got kids, I got a kid too. You want to say you got work, I have work too. You had to go over here, I had to do this too. Mm-hmm. We can't elevate and we can't go nowhere without the work getting done.
Exactly. So,
I mean, if you still want to stay in your same situation, you still want to work that 9 to 5 and still be in that struggle, go ahead and do your thing. Mm-hmm. We're going to be winning on this side.
Right.
So you can either fall in line and do what you got to do because you see what I'm doing. So it's not like I'm not doing anything, or you could just sit around and watch.
Mm-hmm. So now to now piggyback off that and now respond to the Will Smith thing, we also had a conversation about filtering people and things in our lives.
Oh,
absolutely.
Because it's weighing us the fuck down. You know? And it's like
that circle tight.
And I told her, and we had multiple conversations like that, like, I need this bitch in my life because as we've been in our different seasons,
from when we were 9 years old. Yes. I feel the need to mention that. Yeah. Because think about when you were 9 up until now, how many changes, how many life experiences you went through.
Completely.
Wow. And we still managed to be here.
But I can say, at least in every other season we've been in, I've seen something that she's doing and I'd be like, oh, I need to do that shit. Like, read. Right. I need to read. Like, I need to do that. I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And then now I was telling her that I was like, in the break room or I was somewhere at my job and I'm reading my book and everybody's like, Tony, you reading? I'm like, yeah, I'm reading. Why aren't you reading?
Expanding my mind.
The fuck? Like, they're like, oh, you really read
People
a book?
do that
like,
to me all the time.
I'll be like, yes, I'm reading. Even on the
get
train.
The scissors. Go get the scissors.
Even on the train or the bus. And that's why sometimes, like, you know, like I know that's my workspace or whatever, but, you know, I don't put myself out there everywhere. You know, like my energy's not for everything and it's not for everybody. Like, it's for select few. But again, going back to what he's saying, snip, snip.
Cut them off.
Filter it out. Shed the fat. Okay, shed the fat.
Yeah. If it's not bringing you like no benefits, if they don't support you, if they're not bringing you no opportunity, if they're just a waste of time.
Yes, I want people in my life to inspire me. Like, oh, you doing that? Oh, that's fire. Like how you did that. I want people to teach me things. I want people to like just uplift me. I don't want nobody like, you know, the naysayers. I'm over that.
Oh, why are you doing that? Like, just chill.
Don't question
just
me.
Enjoy.
Like,
just go with the vibe. Go with the flow. It's like
somebody told me. They said if you the smartest in the room, you're not in the wrong room.
Yeah, absolutely. What? I want everybody to be teaching me something.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be a sponge. You gotta be a sponge in this world.
You said 2 more topics?
Let's do more.
One.
We can reset right now.
We could? Yeah, let's reset right now.
Okay, bye. Yeah, there he goes.
Personally, I think each person requires a different leadership style. Like they need, they need, you know what I'm saying? You can't lead the same way for each individual person. Mm-hmm. So that's also important to understand the person that's following you, what they need from you as a leader.
Right.
So that's very important. That's all.
And I think as a leader, like you said, you gotta have like empathy because everybody works, like you said, everybody is different. So his pace could be different from somebody else. So I can't talk to them the same way, you know, or they can't talk to me the same way because everybody's different. Everybody moves at their own pace.
Yeah.
It's like playing sports. Like you can coach a certain kid, like, and you can just like yell at him, like, "Yo, you fucking do this."
Right.
And another kid, you gotta be like, "Yo, put your arm around them," and like, "Yo, this is where you messed up and did this." So that's very important.
Right. Yeah. That comes with building that rapport and, you know, understanding like everybody's strengths and weaknesses too. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm dead. All right, so this is it's pretty much going with the flow of what we were saying because I already mentioned that I was reading that goddess book.
Yeah.
It's a goddess warrior book. I forgot the author. It's in my bag though. It's always with me. I just finished it today and I'm so sad, but I'm gonna read it again because it's just a great book. So basically, it's basically like a guide and it gives you so much instruction in terms of self-development and just changing your narrative in general. A lot with self-talk, a lot with like family trauma, like how to release yourself from that and how to really like uplift yourself, like really become a goddess, like really, and not just become like a goddess, like believe you a goddess. Cause it's different. Like you could come here, you could make it moves, but if inside you really don't feel that, you ain't really getting nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like there's multi-million-dollar people out there and they, you know, sadly, they off themselves because they not there. You understand? You're not there mentally. So there's this one exercise that I just wanted to reflect on a little bit. And it's just, again, changing the narrative that you tell yourself. So each and every one of us can think of a situation that we may be in now or that we have been previously. And if we were able to change the narrative on how we telling ourselves that story, it would have been so much more like positively impactful to us. Like for instance, an example would be like after a breakup, right? Let's say you were with that person forever. After a breakup, the narrative that you're telling your little girlfriends or whatever is we kept arguing and I couldn't take it anymore and we just separated. But the narrative that you should be telling yourself is that we disagreed a lot, but now we're taking advantage of the opportunity to work on ourselves. So you can do that with almost anything in your life. Yeah. There was even an example about a woman who was like stage 3, stage 4 cancer. And it ran in her family, ovarian cancer. But you know what? She changed the narrative. She says, you know what? My family before me hasn't figured out what like my gene pool is supposed to do with this. But you know what? I'm going to continue to learn about my disease and help my generation that comes after me on how am I supposed to contribute to society? Why am I going through this in a positive way, right? Like what are some things that they haven't tried? Right. Is it a diet? Is it this? And so she is looking at herself as a true ancestor. Like I'm going to contribute to my gene pool.
Right.
My next God, that's fucking powerful.
So powerful. So it's just, so I mentioned that because it's just like, it can really go with anything. Cause that's like health is wealth. And that's like the most, like, I feel most important thing that people don't value. And if you can change the narrative to having cancer, like you
I know that's,
that's powerful.
Yeah.
Then you could change your narrative with anything else, you know? And it just really resonated with me being in the hospital. And I see all these sick people, very young, some very old. And it just always resonates with me. Like, I could change my story. I could change my story. Like, so has there been anything, now to give it to you guys, it could be something that maybe you didn't change the narrative. Maybe you should have changed the narrative. Maybe something that's been stuck on you a little bit that maybe you can change the narrative of now. Like, or maybe you have changed the narrative before.
I feel like I'm always changing the narrative. Like every day. But then it's like I always wanna, okay, so when I commit mistakes, I really like internalize it and I'm like, wow, I'm a terrible person. How could I do that? Right. I wasn't raised to do that. Why am I thinking like that? Oh my God, my ego must be so inflated. I can't handle anything. Why do I react that way? But it's like, I'm okay. I give myself grace and I just say, yo, I'm human. Ooh. I'm learning.
Not a robot.
I want to be better. I'm trying to be better, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to be better like this. Right. Like, I'm not going to be better every single day. I may go the whole day and be great. And then maybe at nighttime something happens and I fuck up. And it's like, fuck it. I'm going to just have to eat that and do better tomorrow. So for me, it's just, I think it's a constant every day, like working on changing the narrative, because when you're so used to speaking to yourself negatively, it's really hard to like reprogram. But you got to know that it takes time to reprogram.
Absolutely.
You go 30 years talking to yourself a certain kind of way. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen on the 31st year? Sure. You're still working on it.
Yeah. I think with me, I just been trying to focus on like being a little bit more proactive over reactive, because I feel like I was always on the go and I always had like this impulse. And now I've been like taking time to like, you know what, take a deep breath, use a little bit more empathy and think about like you wearing the other person's shoes. And I feel like a lot of times when we do get into these conflicts, we don't think about, all right, why is this other person acting this way? Like, for example, let's say you're in a relationship with a guy and you snapped on a guy for whatever he did. He might see it as like, oh, hey, she doing the most. So then now y'all bickering. But the real reason why she's kind of mad is because you've been doing the same thing over and over and over. But a lot of guys probably don't think about that at that one time. It's just like, yo, I came home at 2 a.m. Like, why you bitching? Why you doing this? Why you doing that? Maybe you've been coming home at 2 a.m. all the time. But we don't think that way because we're not in those shoes. So I feel like me personally, I just gotta like take those deep breaths and try to like, all right, let me think about where is this coming from? Like change your perception of your thought and your mindset. And
that's what it takes. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So with me, something that that I'm struggling with now is like this newfound anxiety attacks that I'm having, which is crazy. So I've never had anxiety like this before on the level that I've been having. So anytime I have an anxiety attack, before I would take it as like, damn, why I'm not getting better?
Right.
Like I'm getting worse. Like why am I stuck? Like why am I pacing? Like what's going on? No. So now I've changed the complete narrative. Now I'm like, okay. So every time I have an anxiety attack, I journal. What was I doing that day? What stories was I telling myself that day? What was I looking at? What did I eat? Everything. So then now, guess what? They're getting lesser gradually, right? Getting lesser and less and less because I'm able to identify triggers. So even the music I listen to, I'm changing.
Yeah.
Because even the music could be triggering. Music, food, how much did I sleep? Anything could be triggering. So now I don't take my anxiety attacks. Now I'm on a whole other level. Anytime I have an anxiety attack now, I'm like, okay, what am I going to learn today about myself? What trigger haven't I discovered yet?
You stepping outside yourself and observing yourself.
Now I'm like, I'm going to get to know my demons.
Now you getting it.
So now, no, you really, like, I know people have spoken about this, like your demons, but you really need to make friends with them. Because even your demons have something to teach you. And I don't want, honestly, this whole like discovery part of myself, it's really changed into like a blessing because I'm discovering all of these layers that I have not identified myself. Like, I didn't even know I had this problem. I'm like, damn. So now every time I'm like, oh, you here today? You here today, anxiety? What you gonna tell me today? So I'm making friends with my demons and they teaching me stuff. And I honestly, I don't want to be like crazy anxiety all the time. But I am embracing them.
You're embracing, And you're understanding yourself.
I love that.
So proud of me.
I'm so proud. I'm like in awe of you right now.
Yeah. Oh,
I love that. Yeah. All right. We're going to close it out with promise is the last thing. Okay. Last thing.
This is a good one.
We want to start adding a segment to our podcast called How Did You Protect Your Peace? Okay.
How'd you protect your peace?
Now we had a long summer. Okay. So I guess we can just like kind of summarize the whole summer. I'm sure things were happening to us, for our betterment, right?
There you go.
Right.
But sometimes you don't always see it like that in the moment and you want to act like your shadow self, not your higher self.
Right.
How did you protect your peace this summer? In what way? Does anybody want to go first?
Sure, I got.
It don't even have to be. It could be the summer. It could be
something
yesterday.
That happened.
It could be last
in the
week,
summer,
today, whatever. It could be like anything.
So my new thing that I've been like telling people is unplug your mind. And the way I say that is put the phones away, turn the TV off, isolate yourself. And I'm not saying isolate yourself like put yourself in a corner, but isolate yourself as take a walk, go to a waterfront. Me, I chill in like my office in my basement and I'm just like unplugged. I'm fully unplugged. And the way I do that is, the reason why I do that is because I feel like I said, I'm always on the go. My brain is constantly moving. And I feel like we don't take that time to just take a second to breathe. Like take a second to just unwind. A lot of time, even when we're out, right? I was on a boat with a bunch of people, and everybody's like taking photos of the boat, taking photos of the views and this and that. And it was like, yo, why you not taking photos? And I'm like, I'm trying to enjoy it.
Right.
I'm trying to see the view. Ain't that what we hear?
Mm-hmm.
We just showing ourselves, making sure we got the good lighting, making sure we look good. Like, but we always trying to impress somebody else. That's what social media is for. It's not like a saved archive. It's not our photo album. We're trying to put it out there so everybody else can see it, so they can see us and react to us. But it's not for us.
Right.
So a lot of times I'm like, nah, listen, I don't want to be on my phone right now. I just want to unplug my mind and take this all in, because we don't know when we ever going to get it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like for me personally, that's the best way for me to learn and the best way for me to like refresh and then restart. So,
I love that.
That's my piece.
Great.
I feel like that's great. I can't even follow up with that. All I was doing was adding walks to my routine. Walking really has helped a lot. Like, smoke a little, listen to a little music. And then that's actually been something that's been really, I enjoy it a lot.
So like, do you have like a designated path that you
So I just walk where I live. My neighborhood is super quiet.
Okay.
Dead. So I just walk straight down, like 30 minutes one way, 30 minutes back.
Yeah.
And that's it. I just see the cars passing by. I was also doing that pier in Harlem. I don't know if you know. It's like next to Skinny's Cantina. If you've ever been there. I don't know.
It's nice.
I've been there.
125th Street.
We've been to Skinny's.
Yeah. You look like
we've been to Skinny's.
Yeah. Like that path by the water is really nice too. So yeah, I just been doing that. That's really how I've been protecting my peace. And also like I've let go a lot of people. I stopped talking to a lot of people this summer that were just toxic energy, and it's just like
draining.
I don't surround myself around people that just don't make me feel good anymore. I just stopped doing that. I don't put myself in situations or places that I have no business being in.
I challenge you with this. Next time you go on that walk, turn your phone off.
No music?
Turn your phone off.
Oh, damn.
Take it all in. Take it all in.
I could do it.
You can.
Take it all in.
I will. I'm going to hit you up and let you know.
For sure. I mean, I don't know how you're going to do that because your phone's going to be off.
After the walk, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
She failed already.
After the walk.
That's what I do on most of my walks. I usually never have my headphones in.
Yeah.
I just have my camera. That's
just
my piece.
walk.
I just grab my camera and just go. I have so many pictures on my computer that no one has ever seen. It's just because it's my therapy. It's the way I get away. Right. Some pictures. It's just me with like this nature or something, just random. Right. And I love my graffiti pictures, so it's just a wall.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I'm just taking pictures, and I just put them on my computer, and it's just from my own piece. Like, I don't care about if anyone else sees it or not. And a lot of times on those walks, I don't even really take my phone out to even like document that. It's just that. It's just me and my camera. I'm just walking.
And you take some amazing photos, bro.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Y'all may think I'm crazy, but when I'm home and my kids is home, if my phone dies, it dies. I let that shit die. And they piss everybody in my life off. But I see
just
if my phone is off,
trying to contact you.
Trying to do shit, bitch. Like, hello.
No,
but I get it.
If my phone dies, my phone dies. I be so, and then when it dies, I'm like,
not even trying to charge it.
Charge it right next to you too, right?
If my kids is next to me, then ain't nothing else.
Right.
That I'm like, they good, we good.
Right.
That's it.
I feel that. All right. Well, that's the episode, guys. How are we feeling?
I feel amazing.
Yeah. I'm so happy you came. You have to come again.
Yeah, you gotta come back.
You have to come back.
Next time you need a mic.
I got another question real quick.
Oh, you have another question?
Where can they find your merchandise?
Oh, yeah.
Also, we got the Instagram is nothing to something _. We got the website coming soon, N2S LLC.com. Yeah, I think that's pretty much where we got it right now. Instagram, like I said, Instagram, nothing to something _. I'm not gonna put my number on the camera right now.
Number 2.
Like the actual
nothing to
nothing to something like the shirt.
The number 2.
And like I said, the website N2SLLC.com. So
nice.
We have all the merch on there.
No, this comes out the day after the pop-up, so we can't even plug it in.
Instagram IG.
Guys, the pop-up shop is this Sunday from 1 to 7 at 910 Hunts Point Avenue.
Be there.
Curtis will be there with his merchandise, his whole crew of people.
It's going to be our last one for the summer.
Our last one of the summer, so pop up.
Can I get a shout out?
Yeah.
Of course.
I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy Heath. He's right over here. My boy Troy, my boy Jiggy, my boy Diddy. Those are my partners in my brand. So, shout out N2S. Nothin to Somethin.
We out.
That was good. We all got